Welcome everyone. Uh, Today's lesson, we're going to be learning how to make Discord bots because Discord is a pretty big platform right now for texting people. And yeah, so let's get started. Lack of transition. Okay, so first of all, I already miscalculated. So there is this to create a bot, you first have to go to Discord's developer website basically. I'll send you guys the link afterwards because I just realized I actually didn't prep the link. But if you search up Discord development, I'm pretty sure it might show up. And if you don't find it, I'll send you the link afterwards. So my bad about that. But anyways, once you're on this page, what you'll see is you'll see application, team, server, insights, documentation. You want to go on application. This is where you're going to be creating your bot, making your bot come to life. And if you have any previous bots, they'll show up under here. So if you can see, we have the ComSite bot and then some other private bots. And what you want to do here is if you're making a new bot, which means you don't have anything here, or you want to create a new bot, you go up here to top right corner where it says new application. Let me get a pointer, new application. You click on that. After that, it'll ask you what you want to name the application. You can name it anything you want. Usually people name it the same as whatever bot they're making, but you just type your name and you hit create. After that, you'll be brought to this page. Here you could sort of customize the appearance of your bot. So you have your profile picture. This is kind of similar to your actual Discord profile. So you got your profile picture and you got the name of the application. Yeah. And down here, this is how your bot is going to look. So that was general information. This is the bot. So on the left tab, you unclick the bot, and this will be their bot's profile picture and your bot's actual name. So will appear in Discord. And here I've named the ComSite bot. You also have the tag at the end if you really want to wish to know what that is. After that, to actually invite the bot invite the bot to your server, you want to go to authentication. You click on bot. You checkmark bot, and after you checkmark it, at the very bottom, there should be another place that kind of appears. And here are all the permissions that you grant to the bot you're making. So as a general rule, you don't usually want to hand administrator to your bot because that means they'll get administrative privileges on your server. And if something goes wrong, um, for example, if someone takes your token or you miss something and now your bot is going wild, if it has administrator privileges, then it could do a lot of harm to whatever server it's on. So generally you want to limit to the absolute necessity, and you can add on to it later. And after you check these things, you'll notice that every time you click something up here, I'm not sure if something's blocking it, but this link will kind of change a bit. And what this is the invite link for a bot. And once you copy paste this into a different tab and you hit enter, it'll invite the bot, or it'll pop up the invite bot screen, and the bot will be granted these privileges that you've checkmarked down here when it joins your server. So it'll say you want to invite it to a server and what server you have. And remember, the only servers you can invite the bot to are the ones that you have managed server on or you have administrative privileges on. So if you don't see anything, it means that you don't own any servers or you don't have the necessary permissions on any of the servers. And after that, now, if you go back to Discord and you actually invite it to your server, it should pop into your server. So it'll say like whatever your name, the bot's name is, and then join the server or whatever flavor text they decide to put there. And now you want to come back here and go back to bot. And this is tokens. So tokens are basically what you use to distinguish your bot. So when you have to program, when you program your bot, you're not obviously programming it on this website. So then they need a way to authorize the fact that you're the owner of their bot and you have permission to actually control the bot, program it, and also which bot you're programming. So that is your token. So what you want to do is usually you don't want to click reveal since this is supposed to be a form of a secret token. You could hit reveal if you want, but generally you don't want other people to know your token. If they do know your token, they will be able to control your bot, and that is obviously no thing. So after you hit, oh, that's the end of the slides for now, and we'll be switching over. So remember, you got to copy your token, and I'll tell you later where to put it. So I'm going to stop share. And if you switch to my face cam, I've actually set up sort of an OBS stream thingy that you can see both the platform and the Discord software. So you will see the code and you also see you will see this code right here, VS Code, and you also see sort of a Discord server on the top right corner. And so what you want, so this is a basic template of programming your Discord bot. So once your bot is done, you need a editing software or programming software to actually program your robot. And this will be the basic template. So for this tutorial, I'll be using Discord, Python. I'll be writing in Python, and I'll be using Discord rewrite for this one. I think it's rewrite. And this is basically how it's formatted. So we got some import statements. I've already actually made the program beforehand. So these are the import statements that we will need later on. And usually if you don't know, the basic ones are just these top two lines and likely asyncio. Next up on the line 9 and 10, we have intents. So intents, we don't actually really need it since we don't have any intents for the current bot we're making. And usually you also probably don't want to give it all, but I was a bit lazy. And next up on the next line, we create a bot object, and we give it, we use commands.bot, and we give it a prefix of a bracket. So whatever you put here, well, if you guys use this word for and you guys have interact with bots, you'll know you have to type a prefix, or not all the times, but usually you have to type a prefix in order to interact with the bot. And that will be what goes here in this little place. So for our bot, every time you want to type a command to the bot, you will have to put left bracket. Down here are some sort of log things. So as soon as as soon as the bot starts, it'll put some logs into your terminal, so you'll know that the bot is running. At the very bottom, you have bot.run, and in here, it accepts a string, and that will be the token you just copied. So earlier on in the slides, I showed you there's like a little button for copy your token. You'll put the token here, and since I don't want to show my bot's token to you guys, so you guys can't steal my bot, I just created a separate file that would store token, and that way I won't actually show it directly to you guys. So this is a way you could keep it safe, and different platforms have different way to actually hide your token, or secret keys, as some people call it. So you have GitHub, they have secret keys, you have Replit, they have env files, and so forth. I didn't really hide mine that well. You can see it in here, but I'm not going to click on it. And next up, we're going to actually start printing the bot. So I'll be going through a list of different things you can do with it. So I'll just kind of be steamrolling through that. The first thing you can do is, you know how your bot, it has sort of okay, so on your actual Discord user profile, you have your status, the indicator. So you're online, offline, idle, do not disturb, or something like that, right? They have little green light, yellow light, red light, or gray, kind of. So you can set that. You can also set those things for the bot. So if you type in await bot.change presence. So what this does, oh, I misspelled. Status. So what this does is it sets the bot's presence or the status to do not disturb, which will be the little red indicator with the little line through the middle on the new updates. And that will be what this line does. You need to await. Remember, anything that you do with the bot, you'll basically have to put an await in front of it, and also any function you have will have a sync to actually be able to await. That will actually ensure that it executes before it moves on. Otherwise, it'll return an error. So errors are no good. So put await and put a sync. Another thing you could do is they usually have statuses underneath. So for user profiles, you can set custom statuses. So a lot of you probably have custom statuses where it's like a little text, a little blurb, or whatever you're doing underneath your profile. Bots can also do that too, but they're limited to basically sort of four-ish, five-ish different statuses. So if you look at the boss, some of them might say watching or playing or streaming or listening to. Those are different ones. There's also a fifth hidden one that's competing, and that is what we're going to be using now because secret stuff is fun. So to set a status, you would first declare a variable, and then you will type in this little bit of code. And for name will be whatever comes after that initial. So in the first word is basically set. It will either be listening, awaiting, listening, playing, and so forth. That will it will have to be one of them. And after that, it could be any custom message you want. And so for ours, we could put maybe comp sci tournament. And then we have to have the ID of whatever thing goes before it. So 5 is competing in. So if we have this, what it'll do, it'll say competing in ComSci tournament, which is kind of funny considering we don't really have one right now. But anyways, that's just some status thing. So now your bot can look all nice. So if I um, hit play, it'll bring the bot online, and on the bot side, hopefully, I'm not sure if you guys can see it. Oh wait, shoot, actually I forgot something. On the change presence part, you want to put activity equals info. You want to set the activity to be info, or the variable you declared up here. So it'll set the status, it'll set the activity, and now when we hit run, the bot should display both of those things to it. And it might take a bit because it takes a bit to update itself. So you can see it has the, I'm not sure if you can tell if it's visible in the top corner. Let me check. It is. Okay, so you can see there's a little do not disturb symbol. The status hasn't actually showed up yet because it takes a bit to update, but yeah, you can see that. So let's just move on with it. Next of all, how you actually create events, or how you actually await a command would be you first have to type in at bot event. So what this will happen, this will trigger, oh, wrong punctuation. This will trigger every time someone sends a message. Anytime a user messages, this function will trigger, and it will accept whatever message was typed in here, so message. And this will run independent of whatever prefix you type in. So even if the message doesn't have a prefix, this part will still run. It will take the message in for it. And what you want to do is get context message. So what this does, this basically gets the information about the message that was sent in Discord. So you got author, you can find the author's ID, the message, the guild or server that the message was sent in, the channel the message was sent in, and all those information. So this is pretty important. You usually want to declare that. And then what you want to do now is you want to pass this this context variable onto whatever command that will later run. So bot.invoke context. And now what this line does is actually does two things. First of all, it checks the prefix and then also takes out the prefix, and then it'll run whatever the first word is. So you know how when you type a command to a bot, the first word usually dictates what command it will do. So if you let's say maybe it's a music bot, you type in like the prefix and you type in word play, and play will signify that the next line will be a song title or a song link that the bot will play. And how we'll do that is we'll create another function and we'll title this one as bot.command. And now we type in async definition where you define a function. And now the next word is going to be the name of the command. So if we were making a music bot and you want to do like prefix play to play a song, then you would type in play here, since the keyword the bot will be looking for is the word play. And for us, let's just create a test one real quick. So let's do test, and it'll take in the context and then the argument. So the argument will be whatever is after that first keyword. So slash play, maybe slash play, and then like YouTube link. The play will be taken out during the invoke, or it would be taken out here. So it'll match this word, and then the argument will be the link after the link that will be provided afterwards. So context is the message itself, or the context of the message. So the channel, the author, and things. Argument is whatever arguments are provided after your keyword that you're looking for, the command word. So let's just do a very simple one. So how you would actually get the bot to send something back in chat, you would do await ctx.send and then whatever string you want to send. So let's spit back arg. So arg is whatever word you type after the test command, and it will basically send that exact same string back at you. So if we will run this now, if we hop over to Discord, oh, actually, hang on, let me rerun it. If we hover to Discord and actually, you can see that the status updated. So it's competing in ComSci tournament now. Anyways, if we do bracket, the prefix, the keyword is looking for a test, and then we can type in any string we want. So hello world. Then what it'll do is it'll send back, it'll send back hello, because we accepted one argument, not two arguments. And to fix that, I think we could do that. I think. Double check. Yeah, there we go. So now the star will signify that every remaining word in that string that it takes will be passed on to argument. So argument becomes a very long string containing every single word that's after it. So if you do bracket test hello world, it'll take hello world, store that in argument, then it'll send the argument back, which is hello world. And now we got our bot up and running and it has one command in it. But now obviously sending stuff back isn't that interesting. We can move on to other stuff. So we can create, let's say, actually, before we do that, we can also mess some stuff up with the on message thingy. So since on message basically looks at all the messages regardless of whether it has a prefix or not, what it can do is it can look for certain strings and then do stuff without needing for a prefix. So for example, if we all know that meme of someone saying I'm bored and you go like, hi bored, I'm dad, well, we're going to recreate that in a Discord bot. So what we do now is we have if message dot content that starts with so now what this does, it'll look for any messages that starts with the word I am. And what it'll do is, as you can probably expect, we can just send back a string that contains the following. Um, Yeah, so what this does, you can probably piece it together. It looks for the keyword I'm at the very beginning of a string. So if someone says I'm bored, it will trigger this little if statement and it'll run the things inside and it will send back the word hi, and then message.content would be basically the message in raw text. So it'll be whatever the type, so if I'm bored, message.content will return I'm bored. And then Python, if you're more familiar with Java, it's kind of like a substring for Java. This is Python substring. So take the fourth character and on. So the colon means is basically a comma, I guess, in the Java substring. So 4 : would mean 4 and up. And if you want to cut maybe between, it would be 2:4 will be from the second character to the fourth character. And :4 will mean from the first character all the way to the fourth character. Or, I mean, the fourth index, the character at index 4. There we go. So these are indexes. So the fourth, the character at index 4 would be, well, I will be 0, the apostrophe will be 1, M will be 2. The space that is expected to be after will be 3. And then, actually, we can also add a space just to make sure it's the word I'm and not like I'm pasta or something like that. So then the fourth character, the character at index 4 will be the character that comes after the space, after the word I'm. And it'll take everything after that and it'll print a hi and then whatever comes after the word I'm, and then return I'm comp site bot. And we can also maybe add an elif statement to check for people who are too lazy to put an apostrophe and can't do grammar correctly, and they put the word I'm like that instead. And for that one, since everything shifts to the left one index, instead of index 4, we'd be looking at index 3. And now if we hit play, or we hit pause. Ah, yeah, helpful error messages, not really. Anyways, if we hit play, now if we go back there and we type in, let's say, I'm bored, well, you're expected, it's gonna say, hi bored, I'm CompSiteBot. So now we got some things that will basically reply back to any messages that has the word I'm, that starts the word I'm. And now what we can also do is we can also add reactions. So let's do an example with the reactions. Let's say if anyone puts the word thonk, if anyone puts the word thonk anywhere in their messages, then the bot will react to the message. And here, what this will do, this will add a reaction to whatever message that was sent. And the reaction will be the one that's inside this quotation mark as a character. So I actually need to obtain the character. Yeah. And so now once we stop and hit play, you'll see that the bot will now react to any message that has the word thunk in it. So see, it reacts perfect. And it will look for it in any place of the message. So it could be at the very end, it could be in the middle. So we can have some scribbled text. We could put thunk right there, and then we scribble some more text. It's still gonna react because it sees the word thunk right there. Cool. And so we got reaction, we got sending, we got some test stuff. And now let's actually try to create an actual command for it. So what we'll be doing is we'll be creating a rock, paper, scissors game. So let's get that set up. So what this does, it creates a new command that look for the keyword RPS, which stands for rock, paper, scissors, as you might expect. It'll take in one argument afterwards, and it'll provide it in a string format for our program. So this will put it in a string format. So now what we can do is we can start setting up a rock, paper, scissors one. So if you have some experience with Python, you can try and make your own version of rock, paper, scissors while I'm doing this. Or if you rather not, you can listen to me explain what each of these lines do. So the first one, rock, paper, scissors has three different things you could do. You could throw a rock, you could throw a paper, you could throw scissors, and we also need a computer to throw a rock, paper, scissors. So here we use a random integer. I spelled that wrong. So random.randint will choose a random integer from 1 to 3, inclusive of 1 and 3, I think, and it will store in the variable comp move. And then what we'll do is, since some people obviously can't follow directions and they love throwing random stuff after the argument, we'll also make them default to one of the moves. So in this case, I'm going to make them default to rock. If they type in anything that's not rock, paper, or scissors, they're going to default to the move rock. So, and now we actually want to be able to convert between the numbers 1, 2, and 3 and the actual words rock, paper, scissors. So let's create an array for easier use. And this will store the three different options in a way that would be easily convertible from integer to string. So we got rock, paper, scissors. This will be index 0, index 1, index 2. And now let's actually check what the user uses. So okay, so what this does is, I missed some stuff. What this does, it checks the very first character of argument. So depending on how I'm gonna parse the information given to me is I'm gonna look at the very first letter of the argument, and if it's R, I'll assume that it says rock. If it's P, I'll assume it says paper. If it says S, I'll assume scissors. What this means is they could literally put like pepperoni and it'll set it as paper because they both start with P. And that is basically what I'm gonna do. So if the first character or the first letter in the word is R, then we're gonna assume that the person has chosen rock. So we'll set user move to be 1. 1 will be stand for rock, 2 will be paper, and 3 will be scissors. We can copy that 3 times, change these to leaf, and change these up. So if it's P, we'll assume to do paper, and right now for coding, the paper will be replaced with number 3. And if it's scissors, 2, and the scissor will be replaced with number 3. So now we stored what choice the user do. Now it's time to actually compare it against the bot. So first of all, we want to output what the user chose and what the computer chose. So what we can do that here is, since we already have a very nice conversion using this array between integer and the actual string we're looking for, we can type in you chose, and then we could do choices of user move -1. So depending on whether it's number 1, 2, or 3, it correlates to index 0, 1, or 2, because you subtract 1 from it, and it'll pull the string out. So 1 will become 0, index 0 was rock, index 1 is paper for the number 2, and number 3 will be reduced to index 2, and that will give out scissors. So this will print out either rock, paper, scissors, depending on the user's choice. Lots of words. Okay. And then now we want to display what the computer chose. So we can just type in a string to differentiate between the user's choice and the computer's choice. And then we can do choices of comp move -1. All right, so since we're storing the string inside a variable with actually sending it, we can use \n to indicate a new line. So when it actually sends this announce out, it'll put a new line at the very end, so we can add other stuff onto the end of the string. And now let's actually check whether who wins. So what we can very easily do is, since we have them in the form of numbers, we can just check the numbers. And if they're equal, which means they threw either both rock, both paper, or both scissors, then they tie. So we'll just do tie. So we'll send the send the variable announce, which is this long string here, plus a new line at the end, and then it sends out the word tie. And that'll indicate that both of them do the exact same thing, and now they tied. Let's copy it 2 more times, change this to elif. And for the next one, since they're in number format, obviously if the user move is one more than the comp move, so if user moves 2, comp moves 1, it means that user threw paper, the computer threw rock, then paper beats rock. So as long as this move that the user chooses is one more than the computer's move, it means they win. So paper versus rock win, scissor versus 2 paper, scissor wins. And one more case is when it's 1 versus 3. So if the user throws 1 and the comp throws 3. So what we can do here is we can check if user move is equal to comp move plus 1. So that is one win scenario. Or it could be the other win scenario, which is when user move is equal to comp. So these are two scenarios. Either you're one number bigger, which means like paper versus rock, or you're two numbers smaller, which is like scissor versus rock. So any of these two scenarios will result in the user winning. So we can say you win. And any other move, so we can switch this to else. If it's any other scenarios, if it's not tie and it's not you win, then obviously the computer wins. So we just type in you lose. Negativity. Anyway, so this is rock, paper, scissors done. And if we run and test it, never mind. Where's that? Anyway, now it should be done. And if we run it and, oh my God. All right, now if we run it, now it works. Okay, so now if we go back to here, we type in RPS and then we can throw anything. So we say rock. Okay, there we go. So I think it was just starting up, so never actually registered. So now you can actually play rock, paper, scissors. You type in RPS, your selection, and yeah, it'll spit back to you whatever you just typed in back there. Yeah, rock, paper, scissors. So let's do another one. That's the paper. Now paper losing a scissors, so we lose, and it works fine. So thank you all for coming to this very, 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 very nice tutorial of how to make a basic Discord ball with rock, paper, scissors function, some reaction function, and some very bad dad jokes. Yeah, thank you all for coming, and that's all I have for now. So yeah, that ends the meeting, I guess.
All right, I'm gonna end the meeting.